Good morning, class. Today, this is the second part of our chapter, the President and the Vice President. We have already uploaded one video on this chapter in which we had discussed about the introduction part of the President of India, the election of the President, the election of the President, the impeachment of the president, and I also discussed about the election of the president, so and too many things I had discussed in the last video. So if you have not seen that video, I will request everyone to watch that video first, otherwise it is very difficult to understand this video. So now we are moving ahead with the powers. I had said in my last video that I am going to start with the powers of the President of India. So here in this video we will discuss with the powers of the President. So first is the executive power. As I have said in the last video that the President is the executive head of the Union administration. He is the executive head of the country. He is the head of the country. It means all executive powers are taken in the name of the President of India. Executive powers means the power of the appointment power. All important personalities like the governor of the state is appointed by the Prime Minister. Is appointed by the President. The Prime Minister himself is appointed by the President, and the other ministers of the Council of Ministers of the Prime Minister are also appointed by the President of India. And the President also appoints the Supreme Court judges, and the High Court judges. The Lieutenant Governors are also appointed by the President of India. That means all the executive top level officers are appointed by the President himself. Here you can see the slide, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. On Prime Minister's advice, although the Council of Ministers, the member of the Council of Ministers are appointed by the President, who will be appointed, that is decided by the Prime Minister himself. I hope everything is clear. Let's move to the next point. Also, as I have said recently, the Chief Justice is appointed by the President, and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are also appointed by the President of India. The governors of the state and the Lieutenant Governors. Now, what is Lieutenant Governors? The Lieutenant Governors means the governors of the Union Assemblies. The Union Assemblies are run by the Lieutenant Governors instead of the Chief Minister. Various other constitutional heads. He can also appoint Interstate Council for the collaboration between the different states. Interstate Council is appointed by the President for maintaining good and collaborative relationship between the states. The President appoints the Interstate Council to promote state, center state and interstate cooperation. Union territories and the border areas administration is the responsibility of the President. Let's move to the next next point. Legislative powers. Legislative powers. The President is the head of the Parliament. Legislative powers means the powers of the Parliament. The President is the head of the Parliament, and the first session after the election is over, the first session of the Parliament is summoned by the Speaker. Summoned by the President himself. He can also send message if there is important message to send in both the House of the Parliament. He can send that. Now the President has the power to summon and prorogue. Summon means calling. Summon means the calling, and prorogue means ending. Summon means calling and the prorogue means ending. The President calls the first session of the Parliament, that is called the summoning, and prorogue means the President prorogue or end the Lok Sabha. The President also appoints in his own hands, according to his own decision, he nominates 12 members to Rajya Sabha and 2 to the Lok Sabha on the advice of the Prime Minister or the Council of Ministers. The 12 members may be appointed, the 12 members are nominated in the areas of sports, business, politics, or any of them as it is decided by the Prime Minister himself. And 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community. Anglo-Indian community, 2 members are nominated by the President. Let's move. Any bill cannot become a law. Any bill cannot become a law until and unless it receives the signature of the President. Without the signature of the President, no act can become a law. So the signature of the President is must for any act to become a law. He can also refuse to sign on any bill, but if it is passed once again in the Parliament and it is presented before the before the President for the signature, the President is bound to put his sign. Now here you can see Article 123. Under Article 123, the President of India can promulgate ordinance. Ordinance means the promulgation means the issue. The President can issue ordinance. Ordinance means the law. Any kind of law is called the ordinance. Ordinance is passed by the President under Article 123. If the Parliament is not in session, only then the President can issue the ordinance under Article 123. Let's move to the next slide. Now, financial power. Financial power, it means related to the budget. The financial power is mainly related to the budget. The annual budget, he is responsible for introduction of the annual budget in the Parliament. The budget session is himself summoned by the President himself, and he is subjected to introduce the annual budget every year. Even prior notice should be given to the President before the introduction of the budget in the Lok Sabha. Another thing, so the introduction of the annual budget is the first financial power of the President of India. The second financial power is the Finance Commission. What is the function of the Finance Commission? The Finance Commission is mainly responsible for the distribution of taxes between the central government and the state government. Now it is the life of the Finance Commission is 5 years. That means the term of the President of India. It is mainly responsible for the distribution of taxes. The Finance Commission, the primary function of the Finance Commission is the distribution of taxes between the central government and the state government. Now, authorized to withdraw money from the contingency fund to meet certain emergency requirement. What is emergency requirement? It means flood. If there is any flood and there is urgent need of the money, then the President of India can issue a directive to withdraw money from the consolidated fund, from the contingency fund of India in case of flood or earthquake. Or in time of any emergency like situation, to meet any kind of emergency or natural disaster, the President of India can withdraw money from the contingency fund of India. I hope you should write down these points. If you write these points, you will get 100% marks. There is no doubt. There should not be any doubt. Okay, let's move to the next point. The money bill can be issued after President's recommendation. As I have said, that the President should be informed before the introduction of the annual budget in the Lok Sabha. Let's move. Now, judicial powers, as I have said, that the Supreme Court of in India works with the collaboration and coordination with the President of India. The President has the judicial powers also. The Supreme Court judge is himself appointed by the President. The Chief Justice of India is appointed by the President, and the judges and the other judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are also appointed by the President of India. He has the President has the power to pardon, to respite, or to reprieve. He can also minimize the death sentence. If a person has got death sentence by the Supreme Court of India, the President has the power to minimize the death sentence into life imprisonment, or also to set him free on certain conditions. So these kind of power the President has in his hand. The President can also give pardon to a person who has got death sentence, or he has been convicted of any offense. So let's move. Judicial power. I hope everybody has been able to understand. The President had a judicial power in which he can pardon a person of death sentence or anybody who has been convicted of any kind of crime. So let's move. Military power. Indian President is the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense, Army, Navy and Air Force. All the three main branches of the defense, that means Army, Navy and Air Force, are under the command of the President. The President will declare war and peace. It is the President who will declare war. Suppose there is a war with Pakistan or China, who will declare this war? The Prime Minister will not declare any kind of war. It will be declared by the President, because he is the head of the nation. The nation is declaring war. The government is not declaring war. So it is not declared by the Prime Minister. The war or peace is declared by the nation, and the President is the representative of the nation. So President will declare war and peace because he is the Commander-in-Chief of the defense. The President can declare war or conclude peace on the approval of the Parliament. The same thing I have said. You can write down these main points. How the question can come. The question can come, describe the military power of the President. It is very important. Many times it comes. Judicial powers also it can come. Describe the judicial power of the President of India, or financial power, or legislative power, or executive power. Any of these can come. Describe the executive power of the President, or describe three legislative power of the President of India. It is a set questions in the class 10 board examination, ICSE board. So everybody has to keep in the mind while answering these questions. So let's come for the military power we have discussed just now. Diplomatic power. Diplomatic power means receiving the ambassadors. Who are ambassadors? Ambassadors are called Rajdut in Hindi. Rajdut. Ambassador in each and every country, India has its ambassador, as well as all the foreign countries have their ambassadors in India. High commissioners and the diplomats from many foreign nations. He will receive the ambassadors and the high commissioners from the foreign countries. The President represents India at the international conferences. He is the head of the nation. He will receive any kind of letter, or in India he is a representative of the whole India. Whatever the executive action will be taken, it will be taken in the name of the President of India. He will declare war and peace. It is also a diplomatic power at the international level. At the international level, India will be represented by the President himself. Discretionary power. Discretionary power means on the will, on his own initiative, on the decision of the President. Decision of President. What is the meaning of discretionary? Discretionary means anything you are doing at your own, अपनी मन मर्जी से. Whatever you are doing at your own will is your discretionary power. So when the president can use the discretionary power in Indian politics. Yes, he can use the discretionary power also. It is not compulsory for any decision to be dependent upon the president also. To be dependent on the president only. On his own initiative, he can join. If no party gains absolute majority in the Lok Sabha, the president using his discretionary power can appoint the prime minister. Suppose in the parliament there is hung parliament. Suppose that means no political party has been able to get absolute majority. Then on his own initiative, the president calls the leader of the largest party to show and form the government. So it happens by the discretionary power of the president. That it is called the discretionary power. Next is the vote of no confidence. No confidence motion. I have also described this concept in the Union Parliament chapter of ICSE board, Union Parliament. So if you have not seen that video, I will request you to watch that video. Okay, I have described the vote of no confidence. No confidence means the prime minister do not enjoy majority support in the parliament. That means majority of the people, majority of the MP do not have trust in the prime minister. Suppose if the no confidence motion is passed, the prime minister has to resign. Suppose the vote of no confidence is passed against the prime minister. So the president will dissolve the parliament, as well as he may ask the prime minister to resign from the house. Again, if the government loses the no confidence motion, then the president can dismiss the prime minister also. The prime minister can be removed by the president if he fails to protect the vote of confidence. Write down these points. We are moving to the next point. Emergency power. Now, what is the meaning of the emergency power? Emergency power means any kind of man-made disaster, any kind of urgent necessity. There are mainly three types of emergency. One is national emergency, president rule, or it is also called the state emergency, the state or financial emergency. Now, what is national emergency? National emergency in time of war or aggression, war or external aggression. The president can declare national emergency if there is any war with any country or any foreign country has attacked our country. So the president can declare national emergency. Now the national emergency is declared for unlimited period of time, but if the parliament is not in session within 6 months, this emergency should be passed by the parliament. National emergency happens during the time of war. Now, presidential rule. Let's move. National emergency under Article 352. As I have said that the national emergency is issued during the time of war or aggression by any foreign country. Any foreign country has attacked our country. That is called the aggression. If the president is satisfied that the security of the nation is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, he can issue proclamation of national emergency. Within 1 month, it should be approved. Once it remains, it is for 6 months. So it is a emergency imposed by the president on the advice of the prime minister during the time of war or external aggression. Let's move. Now, presidential rule. The president rule means the state, when the state function is not carrying out in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. The state has to function according to the guidelines of the Constitution. Suppose if the President of India thinks that the state, no law and order situation is there is no law and order in the state, then the President can declare the presidential rule. In that situation, the whole administration of the state is went under the central hand. Under the central hand, the whole administration of the state will be gone. So, if the President is satisfied that there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state, he may declare the emergency in the state, assuming all or any function of the state to himself. Constitutional machinery, that means constitution is not followed in the state. There is money power, muscle power everywhere in the state. Then the President of India can declare state emergency. So write down these points. It in a short question 2 marks it may come, or as a 3 marks question it can come. What is the meaning of the presidential rule in the state under Article 356? Let's move. Financial emergency. Financial emergency means a situation in which lack of money, suppose there is no money, everything is in debt, then the President of India can declare the financial emergency. It has not been issued so far. Financial stability or the credit of the nation is threatened, the President can declare national emergency. The President can appoint Finance Commission to suggest methods to get out of the financial crisis. He may also reduce the salaries and allowances of everybody in the national, including the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. The cut in the salary can happen during the time of the national emergency. That means lack of money in the government. Let's move to the next one. Now, last one is the position of the President. As I have said earlier in the first video, so you should see the first video if you have not seen. I have said that the President is the ceremonial or nominal head of the country. That means he is for the name only. He is not the real ruler. The real ruler is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister rules the country in the name of the President. So, the President is the real ruler and the Prime Minister is the nominal or ceremonial head. The President is required to exercise his or her power on the basis of aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. What is Council of Ministers? Council of Ministers is the team of the Prime Minister. Though the President is only a constitutional head of the state and has little effective power his or her disposal, the office of the President is one of the great honor, prestige and the dignity. The office of the President is of the great dignity. It is said that whatever crime you have done, if you once become a President, you are free from all kind of allegations. The President cannot be called in the Supreme Court or any other place because he is above he is head of the nation. He is the first citizen of the country. Although he is a nominal head or ceremonial head, he is head of the nation. Every action is taken in the name of the President. So President is above the nation, is above everyone. Above everyone. He is the head. He is the head of the nation. That means he is head of the country. I have finished the position and all the powers, election, appointment of the President. In the next video we are coming with the Vice President. Vice President. Watch that video. Vice President. We are coming with the Vice President in the next video. Till that, thank you. Thank you for being with us and watching the video. This is my email ID. If you want to ask any question, you can directly contact me on this email ID. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more and more updates. Thank you.